What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA, and this is my review of Sonic the Hedgehog 2. It is directed by Jeff Fowler, stars James Marsden, Ben Schwartz, Tika Sumpter, Idris Elba, and of course the one and only Jim Carrey. All right, so what did I think about this movie? It's absolutely delightful. This is a ton of fun. I really had a good time watching this. Took me a minute because of some family issues to finally get out and see it. Should have saw it over the weekend, but I finally got the chance to see it, and man, I see what all the people are excited about. I see what everybody's talking about. This movie is a ton of absolute fun. And of course, the number one guy having fun is Jim Carrey in this film. He is wonderful. He is absolutely magnificent. He is in rare form. And if this turns out to be his final film, I mean, he went out with an absolute bang, because Jim Carrey is just hamming it up, laughing, enjoying himself, having a blast. You can tell this man loves this film and he loves what he's doing out there. I really had a good time with this, and I had a good time with all of the characters. You know, we had two new characters join. Of course, you have Tails. You also had Idris Elba playing Knuckles, and then of course you had Sonic himself by Ben Schwartz. The voice acting is impeccable. This is just one of those movies where you don't really have a lot negative to say about it. It might have gone a little too long, but so what? I was having fun with it the entire time, even though it might have been a little long. I didn't really care. You know, I was sitting there and enjoying myself, right? The movie has a ton of laughs, and it has a very simple plot, right? Sonic basically is, you know, trying to kind of be a hero. He's trying to learn how to be a hero. In the meantime, you know, he's kind of destroying the city and making a mess of things. So while James Marsden and Tika Sumpter, those are his parents from the last film, while they take off and go to a wedding for her sister, in comes, you know, Eggman, right? Played by Jim Carrey. And basically he escapes from the little prison that he was in the Mushroom Planet. He comes down to Earth with the help of Knuckles to try to find this emerald, right? And this emerald's going to give him ultimate power or whatever, you know. I mean, it's a simple plot, right? Very, very simple plot. But what they do is they just play it all the way out for fun, for laughs. I mean, some of the most fun I've had in the theater this year is in this movie. The wedding, everybody's talking about this wedding scene, right? Like the wedding was just a distraction. It was just in the way. Listen, I laughed my butt off during that entire wedding sequence right there at the end. Like at the beginning, it's kind of like, okay, they're just showing them over here, seeing, you know, hey, Sonic's trying to call in and say, hey, you know, I'm in trouble, but don't worry about it. I'm gonna be okay. In the meanwhile, you know, Robotnik is chasing them all over the place, doing all kinds of crazy stuff to him, you know, getting them in all kind of hot water and trouble, you know. And then the wedding issue comes where the wedding day takes place. And I mean, that entire scene and that entire segment of the film is just like some of the best stuff. I don't understand why people enjoy life sometimes. Just enjoy things, have a good time, because that was a lot of fun. It really was a lot of fun for an adult. You know, it's the kid in me, sure, I guess, but at the same time, I was having a good time, so I don't see, you know, why everybody was blown all up about that. There's a dance scene in this as well. It's absolutely hilarious. There's all kinds of fun moments in this movie. That's what these particular directors and producers understand about Sonic. Sonic is about having fun, and they're topping it off with a decent script. Like, the script is really well structured, right? First act, really good, brings you right into the situation, you know what's going on. The second act, you know, kind of speeds up, heightens the tension up, right? You see, you know, Sonic taking some L's, you see Knuckles and Dr. Robotnik getting over, and then you finally got the third act where everything comes together. And yeah, I mean, you know, what more could you want from a movie? You know, this was just pretty fun. And I can see it's a kids movie, it's a family movie. I can see a lot of families flocking to this over the next couple of weeks, just enjoying it once again. I think this is a really good, solidly made film, but the standout obviously is Jim Carrey. absolutely in rare form. And then the voice actors, I think Idris Elba was actually pretty good. You know, he plays like Knuckles, who's, you know, kind of like that warrior mentality, doesn't understand anything but war and fighting, and, you know, defending one's honor and all that kind of stuff. So he plays that character really, really well. I think that was a genius casting, getting Idris Elba in that part, because his voice work, I mean, he's really, really good. And then, of course, Ben Schwartz does his thing as Sonic. Sonic is just a hilarious character, let's be honest. I mean, he's just fun. And this is how you adapt video games, as I've been talking about, right? You take all the little nuggets of things that you get from the actual game, you translate it in, you know, stay true to the fans. I mean, all the Sonic stuff that you've ever seen in games, it's all in this movie. So they did the same thing with the first film. They stayed true to its roots. They told a very simple, very practical, simple story, didn't get too elaborate with the story, and they just had fun digging into the lore, and they know exactly how to translate this thing. It's a live action cartoon, to be quite honest with you, you know, and the three animated characters and Jim Carrey, those are the standouts, you know. And you know, Jim Carrey is pretty much just a cartoon in and of itself, just a giant walking cartoon. We've always seen him as that. So let's go ahead and check out the scoreboard for this film, tally up the scores, and we'll see what we got. All right, Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Let's go ahead and tally up the scores and see what we got. First up, direction. So this is directed by Jeff Fowler, and he directed the first film as well. And I think he actually got better. I think this is a better directed film. It's definitely funnier. And I think he really plays well on the changes from the first film to the second film in some of these characters. Like, these characters are not the same as they were in that first film. It's not just a rinse and repeat of the first film. He really develops like some of the, you know, situations. You know, Sonic is a different character. He really does a good job, you know, kind of using the story world of Sonic. This is one of the most important things when you're doing a video game adaptation. Again, tying it into the story world of the video games that everybody knows. You know, he does a good job just kind of picking certain things out that the fans will, oh yeah, I remember that. Oh yeah, I remember that. Does a great job with that, highlighting those things, really emphasizing characters like Sonic and Tails and their buddies, you know, buddy friendship. You know, it's a really, really well done directing job. Not a whole lot to say negative about this. I'm gonna go ahead and give direction an 8. All right, next up, script and story. So like I said, simple story. You don't get too complicated with Sonic the Hedgehog, okay? You're trying to appeal to everybody from ages 5 all the way up to 60. You know, you're just trying to find something that everybody can enjoy and have a lean script. Now, people say the 2-hour runtime is a little bit too long. I didn't find it long at all. I was having fun the entire time. Before I knew it, it was like, oh shoot, this thing is about to end. You know, it's already over. So plenty of story, and they really filled up the script very, very well. Lots of jokes. I know a lot of this is ad-libbed by Jim Carrey. A lot of the Jim Carrey stuff is definitely ad-libbed, but nevertheless, a great job writing a very simple story. Gives you plenty of moments of kind of tension. You know, it's like, oh, what's going to happen? You know, they give you those moments, and at the same time, lots of comedy. I mean, this thing is one of the most funniest films that you're probably going to see this year, and some of the most fun I've had in the theater. Everybody in the theater that I was sitting at was laughing their butts off, right? And I'm going to it. This is on a Tuesday, right? That I'm going to see this film. So, you know, pretty decent sized crowd too. You know, I know it's Discount Tuesday, so everybody's kind of there, but still decent sized crowd, and everybody's chuckling and laughing. Everybody's having a great time. Script did its job. I'm going to go ahead and give the script a 7. All right, next up, of course, acting. This is where this movie absolutely shines. Jim Carrey, one of a kind. That guy absolutely steals every single moment he can. The acting on this is great. The voice acting is really, really good. Like I said earlier, Idris Elba is magnificent. Does a great job as Knuckles. Very believable as this kind of tough warrior. He doesn't know how to have fun. He just goes out there and completes the mission. And that little relationship that was with him and Jim Carrey, you actually feel like when he portrays like, oh man, this guy is not right, you know, kind of embarrassing me and everything. You actually feel that, and that's, like I said, great job by him. But overall, the cast was perfectly fine. But I think Jim Carrey's performance really elevates the acting, because anything that Jim Carrey is in, he just makes it his own. He takes it over, and you just see him completely come to life. Like I said, he's like a walking cartoon, and it's just magnificent to watch. I'm gonna go ahead and give the acting in this case an 8.5. And then finally, we got sights and sounds. So, you know, you're talking about animation and you're talking about live action kind of blending together, and that's not an easy thing to do. One of the problems that I had with the first film is that it didn't really look seamless sometimes. Sometimes you could see the seams where it's like, okay, this is animation, all right, and this is cartoon, or this is live action. And they actually improved upon that. They actually did improve upon that a little bit. There were still moments like, especially when the, you know, human characters and the cartoons are kind of hugging each other or doing something, there is a little bit of like, yeah, I can see that that's really not, you know, crisp. But nevertheless, lots of special effects. I mean, this thing is a special effects extravaganza. You know, the whole mountain scene, right? There's that mountain scene. You've seen it in the trailers. Oh my goodness, like that thing is just like wonderful. I was like, wow. I saw this on a Dolby digital screen, you know, huge screen, sat up pretty close, and I mean, I was just, the whole, you know, scene just filled the entire space of my peripheral, and I was just blown away. That looked really, really good. And then this scene here with the planes, or with the Tails flying the plane, you know, going to fight Dr. Robotnik towards the end, another great scene. The visuals are really, really, really well done. I'm gonna go ahead and give those an 8 as well. All right, and then finally, the final total score, so when you add everything up and you do the math, comes up to an 8.0. Great film, had a lot of fun. I think that anybody that saw this film, you know they saw a really good video game adaptation, a fun movie. Sonic is knocking it out of the park. I'm really, really impressed with the folks that made not only the first one, and it's the same team, but I'm really impressed by not just with the first film, but with the second film, and tying them both together. And then of course there's an end credit scene that kind of leads into, okay, now we got a trilogy working. I just hope that Jim Carrey can make it back for that, because I think this film really takes off when he steps onto the screen. It's really, really awesome to see Jim Carrey, a master of comedy, at work. All right, folks, that's going to do it for me. What did you think about Sonic? Go ahead, jump down in the comments, give me your opinion on that. All right, thanks. And oh yeah, let's go ahead and check out where Sonic fits as far as the rest of the films that I've seen this year. All right, folks, so here we go. Sonic the Hedgehog checking in at number 4. The little title was a little bit too long for me to write everything out there, but number 4 debut. I was hoping that we saw some of these, you know, films that I was watching lately start to rise up to the top. So we had Sonic, and we also had Ambulance, both really good movies. Guys should definitely go check them out. So you see our top 5 is switched around a little bit. Still got X at 1, Batman at 2, Jujutsu Kaisen at 3, followed by Sonic the Hedgehog at 4, and The Cursed at number 5. All right, so have you seen these movies? What does your list look like? I'm up to 15 now, and yeah, pretty soon I'm gonna have to probably try to move my little guy out of the way. You know, maybe I'll slide him over to the side like this. And that probably will work. But yeah, we're gonna have to start changing that up because we're running out of room. So we'll see what's gonna happen with that. But I want to thank everybody for watching. Really appreciate all the new subscribers. Definitely seeing you guys coming in. Go ahead, if you haven't subscribed, I really would appreciate you. Just go ahead and click in that little subscribe button, joining the family. All right, thanks for watching. See you next time.